Welcome, everybody, to Den Excelsior, episode 185.
185.
I'm your host. Yeah, 185. What is that a celebration? 185?
No, I mean everyone's a celebration. Yeah, that's
I'm
what
your
we
host,
do.
Ricky. That's what we celebrate every week. Always chiming in is Dennis.
Yes,
Damn,
I'm
we're
back.
about to hit 200.
We are at that
That's
point.
crazy.
At that point, we get sponsors automatically, right?
I think we get syndicated. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Apple will send us a check for podcast.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I mean, I think it's just a testament to every time people say superhero fatigue, blah blah blah, they don't really realize how much superhero content has been produced over decades. You know what I mean? It's not just the MCU. It's because that's what our show is, right? It's a love letter to every hero story that ever has been told in cinema or in TV. And we're
I
185
mean, we
deep, and
probably
we still
have
have way more to
less than
go.
20 non-Marvel podcasts, right? Or
I feel
more.
like we have more than that because we did weekly Peacemaker, right?
No, yeah. Well, it was only like 8, right? 8
I
episodes.
mean, I'm just saying that was one example. There's probably
No,
other.
we did do weekly Harley Quinn for a minute.
See, there you go.
Uh,
Don't cringe. It's fine. It's all good. We've done Crisis on Infinite Earths, only part 1 though.
yeah, yeah. We don't talk about part 2.
Yeah, but yeah,
We tried. We did try.
We did Barbed Wire. We did
Our
we did
most
a lot.
our most popular episode is still
Yeah.
the non-Marvel barbed wire.
Yeah. So I'm just saying it's not really surprising to me that we could get this far, but for anybody who is surprised, strap in, because there's way more superhero content out there than you think. It's really crazy. I made a list years ago when we started this of just what are all the things we could watch besides MCU stuff, and I think I had a Google sheet that was a couple thousand things. It was a couple thousand
I mean, we've
movies.
gotten pretty far.
I mean, we're at 185. I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff out there that we've spared you from watching so far. But if we need to,
we got to watch the other Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Go get one. Go get a copy at Comic-Con.
I have to buy a DVD player.
No, you have to buy a VHS player. They might have it on DVD now. Probably.
We were joking. A friend of ours let us borrow some DVDs, and Selena brought them home. It's like, what do we do with these? I don't think I have a device anymore that I can put this in.
You don't have a PS4?
No.
You don't have a PS4, really?
Not here, yeah. And I have the digital PS5.
Yeah, I kept my PS4s because they're DVD and Blu-ray players. That's why. That's the only reason why I've kept my PS4s. So, there you go. I have several if you need one.
I'll go pick one up.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm down to watch it if you really want, but it's not good, just so you know. It's not good.
I mean, speaking of watching movies, are you gonna watch Superman? What's the title? Legacy? Early?
No, it's just called Superman.
Oh yeah, they dropped the Legacy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done the sign up. Is there a limit to how many can?
I think it's just a 7 o'clock showing, so it's however many
seats
7 o'clock showing they want for the. So long story short, DC's pairing up with Amazon to do an exclusive screening of Superman 2 days early on the 2nd, I think. You have to be a Prime member.
No, the 8th.
The 8th. You need to be a Prime member to have access to the tickets. People were pretty pissed because I think they were supposed to go on sale, let's say 10 a.m. and they ended up going on sale at 8 a.m. So some people may or may not be seeing Superman early. I got my tickets. It's kind of a shitty thing though, because they're IMAX tickets, but they're also $25. It's like they
Yeah,
were.
I'm gonna guess I'm not doing it because I did not bother to do it when you sent the link a few days or the other day. So just guessing, it's too late for me now. That's my guess, especially when it comes to disabled seating. You know what I mean?
Give it a try.
I just went to the link you shared, and it's literally just an Amazon.com link.
You might be too late.
Link on homepage. I don't see no Superman.
Tile on the homepage? No.
No,
Oh, you're not Superman early.
I guess I'm not.
I guess we're doing the show on Thursday that week or Friday.
Yeah. Sorry, didn't get a chance to do it. Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah.
what other nerd stuff have you been doing this week?
It's a busy week. I've been well, I mean, I watch wrestling because that's great. I finally started watching season 2 of Andor. I'm 3 episodes deep. Ooh, that show is hitting real hard considering the things going on in the world and particularly California right now. Those first 3 episodes of Andor are quite similar to. It's rough, man. It's rough. Like, it's a rough watch.
I don't
It's
know.
good.
I mean, we don't
It's
have to
good,
get
but it's
into politics this week, but the governor posted a video of like a Trump tweet, but used like Palpatine's voice
for
to
real,
read
dude.
it, and it sounds too real in terms of like this is
Yeah,
something
man.
Palpatine would say.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because like, yeah, the episode I just watched was like, Andor's peeps. They're hiding out on a planet where they're working as mechanics, which allows them to go from site to site. But meanwhile, like the Empire has locked down that planet, and they're going to every site with stormtroopers to check everyone's visas. And I'm like, is visa like a word that we're using in Star Wars now? Like
They couldn't Star Wars up the visa word.
I know, right? I was like a little surprised.
I mean,
They did spell it VESA like in the subtitles, which was kind of interesting to me. But yeah, I was like, I guess we're just using that word, huh? Okay. But yeah, it got awkward because Bix is an illegal, and then Imperial guy's like, hey, maybe we could work something out. And I'm like, this Star Wars is dark.
oh
This
yeah, that happened in that show.
It's dark. It's dark. Are you caught up on the show?
I have not watched season. I followed season 2 via spoilers, but I have not watched season 2 in its entirety.
Season 2 is rough, but it is good. It's good. It's the best Star Wars, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
I think it's cool as shit that like Star Wars is now like there are a lot of Hispanic people in Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's just like the default now in that universe.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean last weekend I watched Worlds Collide on his WWE event because they just recently purchased the AAA wrestling league, the Lucha Libre wrestling league. And so they did an event. It's the second Worlds Collide they've done. They did one 30 years ago, which introduced characters like Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio to the world. And so they wanted to do another event like that where it was AAA Lucha Libre characters versus WWE characters. But like that whole event was pretty much in Spanish entirely, like except for the announcers. Like and it was crazy how much like they cared about,
the Iguana guy is making bank.
Inclusion. Yeah, I know. Iguana guy is awesome, dude. He's really cool. But yeah, it's really cool to see like that kind of level of inclusion in all your different capitalism type, hobbies or whatever it may be. It's pretty cool. I also went to the fair, San Diego Fair yesterday.
First day, opening day.
First day, yeah, they had an art reception for all the people who had art featured. I have 2 photos in the photography
What's the
exhibit.
theme this year? Is it pets?
Summer Pet-tacular.
But didn't they do pets like 2 years ago?
Nah, 2 years ago was superheroes.
Summer Pet-tacular.
Yeah.
That's kind of a. Can you bring your pet?
No, you cannot bring your pet. No pets allowed. You're not the first person to ask me that question. But it's pretty funny because we were checking out the craft section, the one where you see like people's collections and hobbies, and there's a guy who is definitely got a lot of toys like me, and he did something pretty creative with the theme. He got all of the superheroes and action figures he could find and posed them with their pets. So there's like a Cobra Commander with a Cobra. There's Batman with Ace the Bat Hound. There's Star-Lord with Rocket and Cosmo.
Oh, that's that's a little weird.
Yeah, it probably would have been better if it was just Cosmo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
like just like a Legends or
yeah, like
okay.
Marvel Legends.
Oh, so you could have done this.
I could have done it. He had Aquaman with the seahorse though. That was pretty cool.
Did he have anything that you didn't have?
Yeah, he had a lot of DC characters,
Oh.
like that I don't have.
Was it like Momoa Aquaman or like an old Aquaman?
No, it was classic Aquaman.
Oh.
He also had. I did buy that seahorse yesterday though. After I saw it, I was like, I need this seahorse. But
what seahorse is it? Is it from the movie?
It's from the movie.
Okay, that's what I figured.
It's pretty good. It's a McFarlane toy. But yeah, no, it was just really cool to see that, and it kind of inspired me to be like, I need to really start reaching out to people like this because it's fun to see how other people play with their toys too, because that's essentially what I'm doing with my photography is I'm finding a way in my adult life to still play with my toys, and it's cool to see other people do that bit. But the interesting thing is like when you see people's collections at the fair and stuff like that, you got to know that that's like the tip of the iceberg. Like that's a subset of their collection. You know what I mean? Because yeah. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's what I've been nerding out on. I can't think of anything else. And Fortnite, Superman season started.
Thank you for the Fortnite. I didn't really. You sent V-Bucks as well.
No, I did not.
Oh, someone sent me. I think someone sent me V-Bucks. I don't know who.
But that's cool.
So, Fortnite. Hank Hill's coming to Fortnite. It happened. I think it comes like tomorrow, right?
I don't know. That's cool.
Hank Hill and Bob Belcher coming to Fortnite with a fucking gun. I am 100% getting Hank Hill. I have to.
That's cool.
It's like when they came out the bootleg Tron skins. Like I just have to buy them. Like
I saw the Tron skins were in the store again the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need like an old school Tron skin.
Yeah, that's
Tron.
Cool.
I mean, speaking of Tron and going somewhat back to comic book stuff, Jared Leto is not doing great right now. So a lot of people are worried that movie's probably going to get pushed.
You mean as in problematic, Jared Leto? Yes. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who saw that coming? Who could have seen that coming when the man started killing rodents and delivering them to his castmates for fun in boxes?
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm also caught up on Poker Face, by the way, which that show is amazing.
I think that might be probably the next show we're going to watch and just start from the beginning.
If you like Rian Johnson, you're going to love that show.
I like Knives Out.
What about Knives Out?
I don't know. I like Knives Out 2 less.
What about Looper?
I've never seen Looper.
You don't like The Last Jedi, huh?
Damn. You act like that's a hot take.
I feel like that's a hot take because any mature Star Wars fan would know that is a excellent addition to the Star Wars universe.
I think I like The Force Awakens a bit more.
You see what I did there is I set a trap. So then when in the comments people start saying I'm wrong, I can just be like, well, I did say any mature Star Wars fan.
That's fair.
There you go.
Yeah. Knives Out 3 coming out later this year.
There you go. And Poker Face. Season 3 probably going to happen.
Not this year.
No, it's not. But you should watch it. It's really good. It's a fun show. It's just really fun, and it's a love letter to a lot of cinema and TV. Like if you've,
I mean, go watch The Studio.
They did an entire episode that was like an homage to Heat, which I thought was really cool.
I've never seen Heat.
God damn it, Ricky.
I've seen the scene.
What
I
scene?
have the shootout.
There's like a million great scenes in that
you
movie.
know the shootout I'm talking about.
I know the shootout you're talking about, but
yeah,
that's not the only great scene in that movie.
Yeah, but that's the scene. I feel like I don't want to watch Heat because I know my sound system is not going to deliver. So I'm kind of waiting for it to show like at one of the museums here, like the Academy Museum, and like that's where I want. It would be more appropriate to watch Heat in downtown LA there than it would be at my house.
If downtown LA still exists by the time they do it.
Oh, it's fine. Don't even go there.
I went there. What about you? What have you been nerding out on?
This past week, I just played some Splitgate. That's a free game. It's like Halo. You like Halo, it scratches that itch. If you don't like Halo, you probably won't like it, but it has like a cool announcer as well. So it kind of works. Aside from that, I went to the Comedy Store this weekend. That was a little birthday celebration. I love that place, man. I will say it is a little hit or miss. We had the displeasure of having like Pauly Shore as one of our comedians. Not great, but we were in the front. So you
heckled him?
We got to not heckle Pauly Shore, but we did help him plug in a mic.
Okay.
But some of the other people that were there were really, really good. I enjoy. Every time I go there, I feel like there's some like uncomfortable things that you laugh at, but that are comfortable. The level of comedy that you see there is at a much higher level. That some of the jokes that might be around certain taboo topics are not taboo. Does that make sense?
I think so. They find a way to skirt the awkwardness of topics that should not be discussed.
Yes, and they do it. They land more so than like a comedy night at your local bar.
Fair enough.
So I do appreciate some of the art in that sense. But what else did we do this weekend? Not much else because things be happening in LA. So go out there and protest.
Yeah, things be happening for sure. I think I saw a picture of you protesting.
Not me, but my partner was out there protesting.
I was being racist.
Oh,
definitely.
I mean, a lot of people look like me out there.
It's true.
I'll be out there. Yeah. Should we go into some news?
Hell yes. I know what you're going to talk about, and I want to talk about it.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Warner Brothers Animation and DC Studios order their next adult animation series. So the team behind Harley Quinn, their next show. So kind of subtly alluding to that Harley Quinn's not coming back. They're doing a Mr. Miracle show.
That's cool.
So this
is it going to be? Is it going to be a DC universe story?
That no one knows. Kind of like the Starfire show that they announced, and the My Adventures with Green Lantern. Definitely not in universe.
Okay, gotcha.
I think there's another show that they have, but it's the Harley Quinn team. So that's all we know.
Mm-hmm.
but I believe it's going to be based on the Tom King run. That Would that mean
No,
anything to you?
I haven't read Tom King run. No, for sure. People will probably hate me for that, but I am familiar with Mr. Miracle. He's a interesting character. He's one of the from the New Gods era of
Is he a
comics.
person or is he an alien? Like, is that a
Yes,
suit or is that his costume?
that's his costume, but he is an alien. I mean, all of the New Gods are aliens, even if they look like people.
And he's married to or
Big Barda.
dating Big Barda.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was her name.
yeah, that's her name.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's just he's like an escape artist. Is what he is really. Like he was, I believe, raised by Granny Goodness in the pits of Apocalypse, and tortured is a better word for it, not raised. And he learned how to be able to escape any situation and stuff, and that's kind of that's his deal. Which is just funny. It's pretty funny because his name is Scott Free.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that Granny Goodness is just like a thing, and she's still a thing.
She's cool. I mean, she was in Harley Quinn also.
Yeah, I mean, she's technically in the Snyderverse.
Was she?
You see her for a little bit.
Okay. I don't know why you're surprised Granny Goodness is a thing.
I would have thought they would have retconned her or retconned the name or given her something other than being named Granny Goodness.
What's wrong with it? Inquiring minds want to know, Ricky.
You can't sell toys with a name like Granny Goodness.
Oh, you can sell toys with a name like
how many Granny Goodness toys do you have?
I don't have any.
Oh,
I don't have most of this DC toys though, so it's not. I'm not the litmus test for sure. Well, all right, what's your next piece of news?
You want to talk about toys? We got the San Diego Comic-Con Hasbro Marvel exclusive. It is going to be a Marvel Legends Gamerverse series based on the mobile game Marvel Snap, featuring is it Shauna the She-Devil?
Shauna the She-Devil, yep.
Sauron, and Savage Land. Savage Land Rogue.
Yeah.
So they're based on the looks from the cards from Marvel Snap.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They just want to say that so that they have a way. They just love this. They love milking this Gamerverse thing like hard. Like the reality is the cards are based on art that's already been around for decades. You know what I mean? Like these are just some very sexy women that have not found a place, like a comfortable place on toy shelves, and so like they decided that Comic-Con is a great place to put them up as an exclusive. And sadly, a lot of fans are calling this another hostage, figures.
Yeah, people are kind of pissed about this.
Yeah, because they want these because they want a goon on them. I see it. I work the word. I'm going to work the word in every week. Yeah, they want a goon hard. And the reality is, like, yeah, they're great figures, but you can't sell those on Target shelves to like with moms shopping there. So that's what they're for. That's what Comic-Con's for. Let's be real. It's going to also be on their website for a little bit. And then if you really still want it, you can get gouged.
No, they're pinless.
They are pinless. They're also the same body, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. Their sculpts are pretty good on the face.
Great, and that's probably why they don't want to put them on store shelves.
What's Shauna's deal? Is she just like with, was it Khazar?
She's like Khazar's lady, yeah. I can't remember her deal, like as far as like it's very similar. It's very Tarzan-y. Like I swear I can't remember her specific deal. Because I know Khazar's is very similar to Tarzan. That's
And then Sauron's just chilling in the Savage Land.
Sauron is a mutate. Like the mutates are all characters. A lot of the characters, like I think they were the product of experimentation by Mr. Sinister.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember if Sauron is a product of that or if he just was independently acquired for the in that group of people. But yeah, he's this weird guy that transforms into Sauron, and he is like an energy vampire basically. He goes
He has like
around
laser eyes, psychic
kind of.
eyes.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah. And so it's a Jekyll Hyde kind of thing, where he turns into this monster. That figure has been released before as a Build-A-Figure. So they're really just throwing it in there so they can raise the price on that hard.
Someone said the legs are new on him.
They might be new on him, but I mean, we're looking at probably $150, maybe $100.
$89.99 is what.
Are you
they have.
serious? That's only $89.99 for that? I mean, I shouldn't be saying only. I would have guessed a lot more for that.
$30 a fig.
That's not 30. Well, yeah, I guess. That's surprising. That's surprising on the Sauron because it's a nice figure. He's a nice figure.
I did find out last week we were inquiring Shumagorath
Gargantos
is Shumagorath is a Conan name from the Conan comics. And they don't have the Conan comics anymore from Iron.
No, so that's why they renamed him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There you go. So now it's Gargantos, but Gargantos apparently looks the same.
Yeah. But anyways, the Marvel Slap logo on the box is hilarious to me because they just really wanted to have some way of tying it all together and giving you
I wish it was a cooler box. I do like the art on the back that they took
the
with
art
the
on
cards.
the back is cool because it's the cards from the game. Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like all the Marvel Hasbro stuff always had a cool box, and it's just a box.
Yeah, they get a little lazy with the box sometimes, but I love it. I want it so bad. You've now shown me two things from the Hasbro booth for Comic-Con that I need to have badly.
We know we're going on Wednesday.
Yes, we have to get those things. It's awesome. I do have.
I say this while I have a Death's Head sitting in my closet still.
That's funny. That just reminded me that I still have to re-up my Marvel Hasbro Pulse.
I have a Death's Head and a Chester Cheetah next time, not open.
That's funny. I got rid of my Death's Heads. I unloaded them. Anyways, you never know. You never know what's going to be good and what's not going to be good. But I promise you that Marvel Snap set is going to be hot.
We will see.
I mean, it's not going to be. Nobody who listens to us should try to buy that set.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody listens to us.
Scram.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got? New Ironheart trailer just came out that I made you watch.
It did.
What were your thoughts with Riri Williams?
I thought it was fine. It's fine. I didn't think it was the greatest trailer ever. I kind of like the first one better.
She's imbuing magic into her suit.
Yeah, I think I saw that. That's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm not. Again, like magic is just a science that we don't understand, right? So maybe Riri figured out a way to do it, And
that show comes out soon, June 24th. We're getting 3 episodes that day.
Yeah.
So we have one more week of old Marvel before we talk about new Marvel again.
So is that Captain America Civil War?
Is that next?
I think it is. That's why I'm asking. I think that is what's next.
It is. It is.
Nice.
Damn,
Nice.
we're near the end.
We're getting
No,
there.
is it Doctor Strange, right? Or
Are you sure? Is it Doctor Strange? It might be Doctor Strange.
it might be Doctor Strange, but we're definitely talking about Ant-Man right now. Were you looking it up?
I was looking up Phase 3 to see.
It is Captain America: Civil War.
It is, right? Phase 3 starts hard.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is after that. That's so funny. They mentioned Doctor Strange in Captain America 2, and then there's like 4 more movies that come out before we.
I mean, they said Stephen Strange, but
whatever. It's the same difference. Anyways, we're here to talk about Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
2015. Originally, I think it's credited as Edgar Wright, Adam McKay, and Paul Rudd are the writers, correct? Is that right? Yeah, and the reason is because Edgar Wright actually was developing this movie as far back as 2003. He was on this movie before the MCU existed, before Iron Man existed. He really loves Ant-Man, and he had an idea for what, he pitched this to Marvel. And so he was developing it. He'd done screen testing to show like what his vision of the
we saw screen testing for that movie.
Yeah, we saw that stuff. We saw Edgar Wright at a Comic-Con once to promote this movie. But then in 2014, he left the project due to creative differences, as Disney had, come on board this project a few years prior. And I guess he just had creative differences with the brass at Disney. And so Adam McKay and Paul Rudd took over to finish out writing the movie. And I believe Peyton Reed took over as the director, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The former director, or would-be director of the Fantastic Four.
Was it Peyton Reed? I thought it was the dude who did Spider-Man.
It was also that dude.
Oh, okay, gotcha. John Watts, right?
Yeah.
And now it's Matt Shackman, right? I think that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, no, I remember, and Edgar Wright being attached to this. If for anybody who doesn't remember, Edgar Wright also did Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
Baby Driver,
some other good ones in there.
All of the
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, he's a great filmmaker. He's done some awesome stuff. This does definitely have hints of Edgar Wright in it still, but it does also feel very Disneyfied, it feels like we're starting at this point now, we're starting to see a formula, if we weren't already seeing a formula. I'm not saying there wasn't one before, but it's becoming more apparent at this point in the how many movies are we in now? How many deep?
Oh god, I think we're like 10 in. But they instead of, this follows Age of Ultron, right? Your second crack at a tentpole movie.
Yeah.
And they chose to go, not for like a pun, but like they went small. Like, we're gonna now do a Ant-Man story that kind of has nothing to do with whatever they're doing.
But actually, we're going to show you that Ant-Man's been around for a super long time.
To me, that was probably the coolest. Like, one of the cooler things of Ant-Man is that there's this. They're back on the West Coast, right? So who gives a shit what's happening across the world, let alone in New York?
Yeah.
B, that the fact that a Hank Pym's just been chilling this whole time.
I honestly think the first scene of the movie is one of my favorite scenes of the movie because it's a giant special effect, right? It's a DH Michael Douglas, it's a DH Martin Donovan, and it's a aged up Haley Atwell, all acting opposite. I can't remember the name of the actor, the guy who plays Howard Stark. which this is like I think his third time playing Howard Stark at this point, right?
Yeah.
In the movies, yeah. And it's pretty funny because it's like this scene has no Ant-Man in it. It has no superheroes in it. It's just an argument about Pym particles that takes place in like the 70s or something like that, right? Or the 60s or 70s.
At the place we just saw get destroyed, like 2 movies ago, the Triskelion.
Oh, the Triskelion, right? Yeah,
Or Triskelion, yeah.
Yeah, at the Shield headquarters, right? And so we're seeing them weave this story into the tapestry of the Marvel universe in one scene. In one scene, they did it. They retconned Ant-Man into the universe, and then you're not just there for the ride for Ant-Man. Now you're actually also invested, and you're like, I see how he will fit into the larger story. You know what I mean? Because like then you later on learn that Martin Donovan was Hydra. You know, you obviously know who Haley Atwell's character is. Like, you know, Peggy is a very important part of the foundation of Shield. And so it's just about, you know, we already know Howard Stark, and to see the deference that Howard Stark has, like seeing how he's like, you know, what are you gonna do? It's Hank Pym. Like, what do you want us to do? If he wants to, what he's gonna do whatever he wants. Like, this is Howard Stark, and he is acknowledging, he's tipping his hat to the genius that is Hank Pym, right? And so it's just a fantastic scene
It's a
because
cool. I mean, to that point, like Hank Pym is what is it? It's probably Reed, Hank Pym, and Stark. If you're going in order, smartest
well,
people on Earth.
back in the days, those were like the three smartest in the universe. Hank McCoy is another one too, you know.
Wonder Man, right?
No, it's Beast.
Oh, Beast, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of smartest people in the universe and stuff, but yeah, no, I think, you know, a lot of comic book fans were kind of weirded out when Avengers movie came around and there was no Ant-Man or Wasp because they're original Avengers in the comics. And so it turns out like Edgar Wright is the reason that didn't happen, because he asked Marvel to please refrain from using these characters until he did his movie. That was his request. So if you guys have complaints, take it up with Edgar Wright. Man took 12 years to get this movie made. It's pretty crazy how much time went into that. But yeah, no, it's what?
I feel like his stock went up a lot after Scott Pilgrim.
Fair. Yeah.
But yes, he took too long. He took way too long.
He took way too long, right? He took way too long. And so I'm actually really happy with the movie we got. I am, and honestly, like this one was a hard one to rewatch, not because it was like bad or anything like that. It was a hard one to rewatch because I was reminded of all the wonderful potential that this added to the Marvel universe that we never really get again. Like, they don't really do the cool special effects like when he goes small in this movie, you feel it, right? You feel the scale of everything. And I don't think we ever get scale like done that well in any other appearance of Ant-Man in the rest of the MCU, right?
Well, definitely not with the third movie. In the second movie,
yeah.
The second movie gets a little weird sometimes. But man, when he gets small in this movie and the effect that they choose to show him getting small, it's like just straight out of the comics, the way like the different frames of him getting smaller hit.
Yeah. It's cool.
I like to think like those little touches and moments are the Edgar Wright of this movie, because he's pretty meticulous with what he does in his other movies. But
I wouldn't be surprised if they were also Disney.
You know, they lean into the Honey I Shrunk the Kids aspect, right? And shocker, it works here too, because
I think people like this movie, but they didn't like it as much as, you know, it was expected, I think. But I really enjoyed this movie because it's got a lot of charm and it's got a lot of I think it had one of the best supporting casts at the time. Like,
Mhm.
those are some fun characters we get to meet. You know what I mean? Like, some of the other movies, you meet characters and you're like, do I really have to care about Darcy? Like, or like, I mean, who's even the supporting characters in the original Hulk movie? It's like Betty, I guess, just Betty, like that's it, and Ross. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of these movies where I'm just like, do I have to invest points into knowing who you are? And I feel like with the Ant-Man movies, Luis is so charming that I'm willing to accept him and his whole crew. Hank Pym is fascinating, uh, and I actually really enjoy, Hope's storyline that she has going on in these movies, and so it just makes for a fun experience. And it was really fun to get to see them again in the second movie, even if that movie doesn't hit well. And it's a real bummer that we dropped them all in the third movie. um, that said, the other one that I really find super charming, the other three, is Scott's family. Like,
Oh,
the
they dropped her
like
too.
that Cassie is adorable, right? Like that.
Cassie won.
Cassie one is so adorable. And I looked her up and she's doing really well career wise right now. And so I'm wondering if it was a money thing that prevented her
Mm,
from
like
being.
Catherine Newton was a bigger star.
I don't think she's a better actress though.
It's not- mm,
Dude, that girl, Peanut, is adorable. She's adorable.
it's pretty good.
But also Bobby Cannavale and Judy Greer as the people raising Cassie, Scott's ex, Maggie, and her
I mean,
boyfriend.
shout out to just having a showing a functional divorced parent situation.
Right? No, but I think this movie did a lot of cool things, like where it's showing you an unconventional family. It's showing you the hardship of trying to live a normal life after serving time in for felonies. The Baskin Robbins thing is really cool. Like, it's um and Hank Pym honestly takes a little advantage of Scott, right? Like,
Yeah,
Scott figures it out later on when Hope is having this internal struggle with her dad, where she's like, I don't know why you're not letting me do this. Why is he letting you do this instead of me? And he finally says to her, he's like, you don't see it? Like, I'm expendable. Like, this guy doesn't care about what happens to me. Like, he would rather the mission fall apart than lose you. And I think that's really, it's really rough because, like, at the same time, Scott wants to figure out how to create a situation where he can be a stable parent for his kid, but he keeps putting everything on the line because he doesn't have a lot of choices. And I think that makes him a very cool character. It's unfortunate that a lot of the plot feels like it's copy and pasted from Iron Man 1. Like, the villain of this movie is basically Obadiah Stane, right? Like, am I wrong? Like, he's trying to develop something. He's trying to figure out how Hank Pym built these Pym particles in a cave. Like, it's cookie cutter. There's a lot of cookie
it's a little
cutter stuff
cookie, a
in it.
little mustache twirly. Um,
Yeah.
another cool thing I think this movie gives us though is just that we touched on it earlier, but like the legacy, the built-in legacy of these characters. Um, there's there's maybe I think a few pictures of Hank Pym as Ant-Man in this movie, like
Hmm.
the slight flashbacks, or yeah, there's a flashback scene,
Yeah.
but it just instantaneously just like fleshes out the MCU to the nth degree,
Yeah.
right? Like you
Yeah.
could, I mean, at that point the door's open, like oh shit, let's just get an Ant-Man movie set in the '60s, like that'd be kind of cool as shit. Like I want
Yeah.
to see that movie. But they you start weaving in this like built-in legacy with Scott Lang, who is a fairly newer character,
Hmm.
right? And then the Ant-Man lore, um, and it just works. Like you do a neat job of appeasing the both sides, right? Like
Yeah.
you still have the Hank Pym, which is a very important
Yeah.
person in the comics.
You get to kind of have your cake and eat it too,
Yeah,
without the awkwardness of, you know,
of Michael
addressing.
Douglas doing flips in CG.
Well, more or less that, but also, the reason I've read that Disney straight or Marvel's kind of strayed away from focusing on Hank and focusing on Scott instead was Hank in the comics comes with a lot of nasty baggage that maybe they didn't want to focus on. So if they only give you highlights of his life, we don't have to address or not address
Yeah,
some of the
well,
more unseemly things that he's done. Um, and it's not to say that he's going to do them uh to his wife in this universe, like because they could,
well, you pair it with a very seasoned actor,
a very seasoned actor. It's Michael Douglas, and he's 70 years old in this
Michael
movie.
freaking Douglas,
70 years old. You know why he said he did this movie?
for his
He wanted
grandkids,
what?
for his grandkids,
For his kids, sir.
kids.
Not
Oh
he
yeah,
has some young children with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
yeah.
He wanted to give his kids something that they could actually watch and like, because most of his movies are rated R, and I don't know what kind of therapy you need when you watch Basic Instinct and that's your dad. Like that's I don't know if that's good. That's not good. It's so yeah, he wanted to give them something that they could watch, and I think that's really cool. And I honestly think by this point in the MCU, that was how they were getting a lot of people on board, right? Like they were like remember, I think we said only a couple weeks ago that's how they got Robert Redford too. He
Hmm.
wanted to have something his grandkids could enjoy, and the floodgates start like I think we said that, right? With it's Robert Redford and Michael Douglas that just open the floodgates for everybody from here on out, right? It's a cornucopia of Hollywood, like at this point. But yeah, no,
Spoil the riches.
a spoiler Richmond. Yeah. He adds so much to this movie though. And it's great. It's great that he's the ant guy. Like I know the movie's called Ant-Man, but there's really two Ant-Men in this movie, right? Like one is the guy that's obsessed with controlling ants, and the other's the one that's doing the
You got
shrinking
the
stuff.
shrinking guy and the ant guy.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that. And I think that's kind of the balance they worked out for all three movies, right? Like, but really, like, there's no ant play outside of these Ant-Man movies at all.
I mean, aside from the many atrocities the third movie commits, the Michael Douglas becoming like the ant god
Yeah, that's the
by
best part of the whole
forcing
movie.
the ants through time is really fucking cool.
That's the best part of that whole movie is what those ants accomplished based on his little nudge that he gave them. So yeah, but I was that's what I was saying, like that was kind of the bummer of watching this movie, is seeing how much potential is wasted later, right? Because we just don't get a lot of the shrinking scenes. Then it just becomes that I think they played the joke too soon, right? Because the
Mhm.
next movie is, okay, well, what if he gets big? And I think I didn't have
Yeah.
enough fun with him being small yet, and now we're already going to the big gimmick, and then that just becomes his new gimmick for a little while, and yeah,
How do you feel about them burning a yellow jacket so soon?
I don't mind that. That was an alter ego for Hank Pym, because like in the comics, Hank had identity problems where like he needed to create new personas because he wanted to get away from the bad images that he had from different things he'd done. Like remember in the comics, that man created Ultron
Hmm.
by himself. It was not like a
Yeah.
committee, you know. So like he's done some questionable things that could be considered unforgivable in the MCU, or I mean in the Marvel comics. And so he's, been Giant Man, he's been Goliath, he's been Yellow Jacket. He's had a lot of identities. Um, so I think I was more just happy that we got to see another one in the movie. Like it's a
Hmm.
weird suit though. I don't know what's up with all
Yeah,
the
well, that was my
legs.
next question is like, do you like both of the Ant-Man's or the I guess the Ant-Man suit and the Yellow Jacket suit? They are very
I love
different.
I love the Ant-Man suit. I love it so much. The Yellow Jacket suit feels like it was a reject from Iron Man 3. It feels like it should have been part of the Iron Legion almost, you know what I mean?
They should have gave him the fins.
The fins would have been cool. Yeah, I don't know what the fins are for, but they would have been funny. Yeah, it just strayed too far away from any source material to really resonate in any meaningful way.
I
But yeah.
The Ant-Man costume definitely the better of the two, but
Mhm.
there definitely was a very different look up to the very close to that release of that movie. Like there's toys where he looks different.
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to have the toy. Like I remember the first Marvel Legend of it is not accurate, so they had to make another one later on when they did the Infinity War, like or the Infinity Saga figures. They
Mhm.
had to remake the Ant-Man toy to look correct.
I mean,
Uh,
I get the conceit they give was like it needs to be a closed suit. Okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Ant-Man has a very iconic helmet, and I think they could have done a little better job of getting it through.
I mean, it's not that far off from the original helmet. You just get to see a little bit more skin on the face, like in the comic version. But
Yeah,
he's still got a thing in front of his mouth, and he doesn't have the antennas though. I
he
see
needs the
that.
antennas. It needs to be a little
Yeah,
shinier. Ant-Man's got a shiny helmet.
it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I think for what they gave us though, it's really cool. Like I think there was a love letter in there of Ant-Man.
I mean,
Like I like
we totally skipped over too. They're like, built-in legacy. There's a wasp in this movie. There's two wasps.
there's two wasps. There's the first wasp is seen in flashbacks without ever revealing the actress, so they could cast one later. And then in the post credit scene, we get Hope gets the wasp suit. And it is a little reminiscent of Rhodey when he looks at the War Machine thing and says next time.
Next time.
Like yeah, it feels like that. And she says it's about time, right, or something like that. It's
Yeah.
about damn time. Yeah, there's a lot of parallels between this and Iron Man 1 for sure. And I think that's kind of the detriment of the movie is it feels a little derivative, but at the same time, the shrinking stuff is so cool. The ant stuff is so
The
cool.
shrinky stuff's cool.
I
The
wish
ants are
my
cool.
brain didn't break on the logic of the shrinking stuff though,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah. It goes out the
it
door.
makes no sense. Like, does he weigh the same amount
He
or does he
does.
not? Or does he not? You know
He
what I
does
mean?
when it's convenient.
And then does the tank keychain not weigh as much as the tank?
When convenient, it's
Yeah, I'm just confused. Like the Thomas the Train, when it got big, it just destroyed that house and and looked like it weighed 100 tons. But when it hit Yellow Jacket as a little toy, it just bounced and fell on the ground. Is the weight changing or what, man? I can't tell.
I mean, maybe Edgar Wright's movie had a better explanation for it.
Yeah, I think that's, but ultimately, I think just like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you have to suspend your disbelief, right? Like that, you just have to because we're messing with something that they try
Hmm.
to explain. He figured out a way to close the distance between atoms, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I guess I'm okay with that, but like, I think they're just really bad at explaining the rules,
Yeah, no, it show me, don't tell me, and I think it
Yeah,
works well.
yeah.
Um,
They
we
just
also
wanted
get
you to
a
know that when he punches somebody, it feels
it hurts.
it hurts. Yes, because otherwise the movie's just dumb, right? Like you're like, what's he doing? Yeah. What were you gonna say?
We get a Falcon. We get a Falcon appearance in this movie. again, another great little piece of world building because oh, that's this land that Stark owned. All right, let's go
Mhm.
steal the MacGuffin that we need. And yeah, it's Avengers Campus, and
It's the brand new Avengers Campus that we only saw 1 week ago, right? At the end of Age of Ultron.
yeah,
At the end of Age of Ultron, yeah. So now that's the new place that the Avengers are hanging out. And so yeah, I've heard rumors that that was the scene that was the straw that broke the camel's back for Edgar Wright. But the story gets kind of confusing because I've also heard that Adam McKay and Paul Rudd actually asked Disney if they could use Sam in the movie or Marvel because they fell in love with his character in Captain America 2 and Age of Ultron. So it's hard to say, but it is an adorable scene. It's a cameo where he has to do a tiny heist in the middle of the movie to steal something from the Avengers, and it's fun. It's a fun, charming thing. I am a little weirded out by the way Scott was very friendly and very non-threatening, and moments later Sam Wilson is firing live rounds at him. Like I was like, why are you firing Uzis
yeah,
at this guy? Like,
the jurisdiction of the Avengers. Like you're about to murder a
I
dude.
don't think they're supposed to be murdering people though. Like, it's not a good look, Sam. It's not a good look. So I'm happy that they've kind of gotten those guns away from Sam over the years. Like, those guns are
Like
rough.
we gotta get you a shield.
Right? The guns are rough. They're automatic weapons. That's the problem I have with them. Is he's just firing off like multiple rounds. But yeah, no, it's a fun sequence. Like I could have sworn he called him Tic Tac in that scene, but he doesn't.
I
He
don't think
just
so.
no. It's the next time we see him. I do like the little payoff that we got with Luis at the end of the movie, where you get to see that Sam is now trying to find Scott, and I
We
will
had
say
a
this.
little Spider-Man tease in that moment too.
Was there?
It's like we got a guy who climbs on walls. We got a guy who
Oh, I thought that was in Civil War. Sorry, not Civil War. Cap 2. I thought that was in Cap 2.
no, it's because at the post credits for Ant-Man is the Falcon looking for Ant-Man.
Yeah.
He's asking the journalist, and the journalist's like, "You need to be specific. We got this superhero guy. We got this superhero guy."
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's funny. It's because we all knew at that point, right? The deal was already made. The
The
deal
deal
had
was
been,
made.
yeah,
People were very unsure if
yeah.
because the I'm gonna talk about next week, but the Civil War stuff, the Spider-Man in Civil War came in at a very very last minute.
Right.
Yeah.
But we knew that the discussions were happening and stuff.
Yes. Mhm.
And I think by the time this movie had released, we already knew that it was very likely to happen or something. Yeah.
They had the rights to a Spider-Man, but if a Spider-Man was in the next movie,
Right.
the
Yeah.
question.
What was your favorite part of Ant-Man?
Favorite part of Ant-Man that's not the Luis stuff. Man. I would say shit, my favorite part of this movie is probably the actual heist at the end when he's like running through the miniature the model building, right? And all the bullets are flying around him and he's like sliding on all the little props.
Yeah.
That's some Ant-Man ass Ant-Man stuff going on right there.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's a cool scene. I think it's funny that you said minus the Louis stuff because I think back when it came out, I think everyone agreed the Louis stuff was the best stuff, right? But like rewatching it this week, I was like, oh, that's not as funny as I remember it being. It doesn't really hit as hard anymore because I know the joke. I was
They
looking
play the
forward to
bit.
it.
They after the second movie, I was kind of done with the bit.
The bit, yeah, the bit gets old, right? But I think, outside of that, I think my favorite I think my favorite things in this movie are honestly every scene with Cassie. Like
Peanut.
Peanut, just like, are you trying to find my daddy? It's like, yeah, we are, honey. I hope you don't find him. Like just the way she supports his criminality is so awesome. Like that girl loves her dad unconditionally, just unconditionally. There is nothing Scott Lang can do wrong in her eyes at that point in the movie. And those missing teeth just sell it so hard. And I remember how much fun I had when she comes back in the second movie. And so yeah, she's the heart of the movie, I think, for me. Like,
Hmm.
and I know Scott's supposed to be, but she's why he's doing everything he's doing. You know what I mean? And so it's really fun that the movie culminates in a battle to save Cassie at the end. It's a wacky ass battle. It's probably the funniest, strangest, you know, boss fight we ever get in Ant-Man, right? Like other
Oh yeah,
than,
yeah.
or I mean in Marvel Universe. I mean in the MCU is what I meant to say. It's a wacky one, right? Like it's the only one comparable might be Quantum Mania, just because of who MODOK is, which is a funny thing in itself too, but yeah, no, it is uh, you know, we're gonna get into the formula of every movie's gonna have crazy CG boss battles and stuff forever from now on. But this one was very special. Like it was a very special one because it's literally they're fighting in Cassie's bedroom and they're using toys as their weapons of death and stuff like that. Doesn't make sense to me at all, but yeah, I think yeah, Cassie's
Uh,
Cassie's the one. Cassie's
we
the
didn't
linchpin.
we didn't touch on it, but the introduction of the quantum realm was happened in this movie.
It was exposition pretty hard in this movie.
Did it live
Um,
up to the hype?
no, because I think what's wrong with the quantum realm explanation to me is they explain it as that's what Janet needed to do to get into the missile to stop the missile,
Hmm.
right? You'd have to shrink down and then grow back once you're inside to stop the missile. They really gloss over that because they say she shrunk down and just never came back. But also the missile got disabled. So,
Well,
like,
she did it on her way down,
is that what she did? Is that what
something like
happened?
that. Yeah.
It's a something like that kind of situation, right? Like I'm a little confused, like what happened to Janet. But yes, I do think that the quantum realm glimpse that we got in this movie was way cooler looking than anything we get in the third movie.
I agree. It's more Doctor Strange, if anything.
It was, right? It was the precursor to Doctor Strange. It was very trippy, very surreal, very cool looking. And yeah, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that Quantum Mania happened.
So sorry, I don't want to pivot to news, but um, this so Spaceballs 2 is happening.
I know.
Mel Brooks coming back, Rick Moranis is coming back.
The
Bill
Rick
Pullman's
Moranis coming back is crazy.
crazy. Bill Pullman's coming back. But also joining the cast is Lewis Pullman
Nice.
as Bill Pullman's son within the movie.
That's cool.
Um, that's I don't think I care enough about Spaceballs as much as you guys care about Spaceballs.
The movie's amazing. But it is from a it's from a specific time. You know what I mean? The comedy in that movie doesn't necessarily work the same way as it did then, now. But yeah. But I'm fine with that being the end to our Ant-Man conversation anyways, just so you know. Like it's okay.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Um, that's Ant-Man's, ladies and gentlemen. Next week we're gonna have a civil war. Or no,
We are.
yeah, we talked about the beginning. We are.
We are gonna have a civil war. Yeah. Which team are you on?
I mean, Team Iron Man,
Thank you.
the
That's
right
where I
side.
that's where I'm at all the time. I'm always on Team Iron Man when it comes down to it. I don't
God
care if it's
forbid
called.
you want to take in the guy who shot JFK.
I know, right?
Like
Yeah,
like
yeah. No,
Cap, you crazy.
I know. I just want to put that out there so that anybody in the comments can come back and be like, "You guys are crazy." Like I love Captain America in these movies, but like in this one time, I'm taking Tony's side. Like, and the fact that Cap knew that he knew what Bucky did to his parents and never said anything. It's not good.
Yeah.
But more on that next week, guys.
Alrighty, guys. Peace out. And with that, true believers.